Yeah, hello. So having talked about the principle of tithing, bringing what belongs to God into the storehouse as an act of worship and of celebration, which for most people would be their local church community, I want to elaborate on the idea of giving over and above the tithe, using the analogy of sowing and reaping. Of course, we're not just talking about money here, but we can also sow our time, our skills, our knowledge, and our resources, those things that we can plough into things. Jesus gave us the parable of the sower, emphasising that it's important that we sow into good ground. It's only when seed fell on the good ground that it produced a harvest. We can do so much to prepare the ground and make it as fertile as possible. Sometimes we can go on feeding ground which is dead, when really in the natural you need a complete replacement of the soil, or you need to make a decision to sow in another place. You see, often we're inclined to give where we see a need, but I want to encourage you to look beyond just need, to consider giving in order to bring blessing. Give in order to produce a harvest. Sow where there's faith, where it's going to multiply and increase. So here are a few pointers on where and how to sow. Number one, sow generously. 2 Corinthians 9 verse 6 says, remember, whoever sows sparingly will also reap sparingly, but whoever sows generously will also reap generously. Sow in proportion to what you want to see as a harvest, what you want to reap. Number two, Galatians 6:7 says, what you sow, you shall reap. Sow what it is that you're wanting to reap. If you're looking to see a building, sow into a building. If you wanting to see a great youth ministry, sow into youth ministry. If you want to see something that relieves debt or deals with abuse, sow into those areas. Number three, beware. The enemy always wants to work against the principles of God. Jesus told a parable in Matthew 13:27 where the owner's servants came to him and said, "Sir, didn't you sow good seed in your field? How come there's weeds? Where did they come from?" Jesus' answer was that, this was the work of an enemy. It's strange, I never have to sow weeds in my garden, but every year I get a great crop. Why is that? We just have to be prepared to expect some weeds. And don't stop sowing good seed just because a few weeds get in the way. Number four, and this is an important one, what you sow has to die first in order to produce something new. 1 Corinthians 15:36 says this, what you sow does not come to life unless it dies. And sometimes it looks like we've sown and nothing seems to be happening. There is always a time lag before the harvest comes. In some instances this may take many years. I would say don't panic. Hang on in there by faith. It's not like you can go and dig the seeds up from your garden and take them back for a refund once they've been sown. Doesn't work, does it? Number four, there is always a cost to sowing, and we've talked previously about cost. Psalm 126 verse 5 says, those who sow in tears will reap with songs of joy. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's emotional, sowing into something. When you let the tears go, they will be replaced with joy. And final point here, number 6, if we get our hearts right, then we can have a good harvest. James 3:18 says this, peacemakers who sow in peace raise a harvest of righteousness. At the end of the day, as always, it's the state of our heart that determines the result. Get your heart right before God before you attempt to sow anything. Am I doing this for me? And am I doing this for personal gain? Or am I doing it for God? Am I doing it to bless others? Am I doing this begrudgingly? Or am I doing it joyfully and willingly? Am I doing this just to show that I'm a better person than somebody else? Or am I doing it to show love and blessing? Am I sowing in order to bless or to curse? So I just want to encourage you and say happy sowing and fantastic reaping.